Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is FAHMIDA CHANNA, lecturer Zoology from Government Girls Degree College, Moro. Dear students, today I am going to deliver a lecture about endocrine glands from interclass. Contents of today's lecture: thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, gonads, thymus, pineal gland. Dear students, in a previous lecture we have discussed about the endocrine system, hypothalamus and pituitary gland. Now let's start from a thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is composed of two lobes. They are placed on the lateral sides of the upper portion of trachea. These lobes are connected by narrow band of thyroid tissue that is known as are called isthmus. The isthmus extends across the interior aspect of the trachea. Hormones of thyroid gland: thyroxine, it is collectively known as T3 and T4 hormones. Calcitonin hormone, T3 and T4 means thyroxine hormone. Both play important role in controlling basal metabolic rate of the body and essential for the normal mental and physical activity and growth. Calcitonin or thyrocalcitonin. Why is known as thyrocalcitonin? Because it's secreted from thyroid gland, therefore it is known as thyrocalcitonin. It is secreted from C cells of thyroid gland. Calcitonin lowers the calcium and phosphate level in the body. In this figure shows that this thyroid gland, it is situated at a trachea. This is thyroid gland here. This one is thyroid gland. This is larynx. These are the trachea. They are the thymus and the sternum bone. This is thyroid gland, and that is isthmus. Disorders of thyroid gland: cretinism. Low level of thyroxine in childhood leads to cause cretinism. Cretinism condition of infants in a hypothyroidism childhood disorder. Signs and symptoms of the disease: mental problem, facial coarse features such as a proturation of eyeball, weight loss, profuse sweating. Myxedema, adulthood disorder of thyroid gland due to deficient secretion of thyroxine. Clinical feature: overweight, dry skin, hair loss, depression and confusion. Goiter, that is a condition in which enlargement of thyroid gland due to lack of iodine, which is necessary for the production of thyroxine. Let's move to start a parathyroid gland. Two pairs in a human being, not in all vertebrates of glands, which situated behind are embedded within the thyroid gland. Parathyroid gland produce a hormone that is known as parathyroid hormone or PTH. PTH or parathyroid hormone play an important role in the maintenance of calcium level in the body. Here this is thyroid gland, and these embedded structure is known as parathyroid gland. There are two pairs of parathyroid gland in human beings. This portion of thyroid gland is known as isthmus. Let's move to start adrenal gland. It is also known as suprarenal gland. Why it's known as suprarenal gland? Because it's above to each of kidney present or situated at the above to each kidney, therefore is known as suprarenal gland. Two triangular endocrine glands, each is located on the top of the kidney. Each adrenal gland has two parts, basic two parts. Third part is also present in it. It's a minor role, therefore not described in a intrasyllabus. Adrenal cortex, its outer region. Adrenal medulla, it is the inner region of adrenal gland. Now just move to start adrenal cortex. The cortex is a yellowish tissue surrounding by the medulla. The cortex is stimulated by pituitary hormones, adrenocorticotropic hormones. Hormones of cortex: aldosterone, cortisol, androgen. Before going to the hormones of adrenal gland, describe that adrenal cortex have a three zona or zones. zona fasciculata, zona reticula, and zona glomerulosa. These are the zones present in this cortex region. Now let's move to start hormones of cortex. Aldosterone. Aldosterone is a steroid in nature, a hormone of adrenal cortex which acts to conserve sodium ion and water in the body. Cortisol, a steroid hormone which produced by adrenal cortex. It's also in steroid nature. It is important for metabolism of the carbohydrate. It is increased blood glucose level. It is important for the normal response of any stress. Now let's move to androgen. It is a steroid sex hormone. It's also in male, androgen is responsible for the development of secondary sexual characteristics. But in female, androgen is not released. If released, the abnormalities are caused like voice change and facial on hairs on production in females. Now let's start the adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla is the inner region of adrenal gland which is controlled by sympathetic nervous system or stimulated by sympathetic system to produce a hormone such as adrenaline or non-adrenaline. Adrenaline also known as epinephrine and noradrenaline is known as norepinephrine. These both hormones collectively known as catecholamine. Why they are known as catecholamine? Because they are amine in nature. And catecholamine, why? Because they are secreted from yellowish color of the body. Now let's move to adrenaline. It secretes from adrenal medulla. It helps in fight and flight and it's called emergency hormone. Epinephrine increase heartbeat, blood pressure, breathing rate, etc. Norepinephrine, a hormone of adrenal medulla which maintain blood pressure level in the body. Now let's move to understand the structure of adrenal glands and their hormones also through this figure. This is kidney. These top of the kidney present adrenal glands. There are four. They are present here. They are known as suprarenal glands. Okay. Now let's move to understand the parts of adrenal glands. They have this part outer region that is known as adrenal cortex. This inner region is known as adrenal medulla. Now let's understand the adrenal cortex have a zones. This zona that is network of zones, they are this known as zona reticulars. These part that is known as zona fasciculata and this last part is known as zona glomerulosa. Okay, each zone secrete different hormones like aldosterone, cortisol and androgen. Now let's start pancreas. Pancreas is a compound gland. Why it's compound gland? Because it possesses two parts, exocrine part and endocrine part. What is exocrine part? Pancreatic duct that is behave like a exocrine part and that is known as acne. Endocrine part that is known as islets of Langerhans. Why is said to be islets of Langerhans? Because it discovered by Langerhans scientists, therefore is known as Langerhans. Why is said to be islets? Because their structures are like islets, therefore is known as islets of Langerhans. That is endocrine part of pancreas. In pancreas, 99% endocrine part is present, 1 to 2% is exocrine part or acne is present. Islets of Langerhans consist of 4 types of cells: alpha cells, beta, delta and PP cells. Alpha cells secreting glucagon hormone, beta cells secreting insulin hormone, delta cells secreting somatostatin hormone, PP cells secreting polypeptide hormone. These are cells and their secretion. Now let's move to the insulin. Insulin per mole is a hormone that is secreted from beta cells of pancreatic islets of Langerhans. It promotes storage of glucose as glycogen in the liver and maintain the body glucose level. Now let's move to the glucagon. Glucagon secreted from alpha cells of pancreatic islets of Langerhans and it promotes glycogenolysis. What do you mean by glycogenolysis? The process in which glycogen is a breakdown into glucose. It means the glucagon promote increase glucose level, and glucagon effects are the reverse than the insulin. Insulin maintain our glucose level in the blood, and glucagon increase the blood glucose level and cause different disorders. That is structure of pancreas. This is pancreas. Beneath of the stomach, pancreas is present. It is a leaf-like. It is a pinkish in color, and it have this one is a pancreatic duct, and this region is known as islets of Langerhans, from which insulin, glucagon, and other hormones are secreted. Let's move to start gonads. What do you mean by gonads? Gonads are reproductive organs like ovaries in a female, testes in male, but as well as act as an endocrine gland. Why they are act as an endocrine gland? Because they are the ductless glands, and because they secrete hormones, therefore these are endocrine glands. Now let's start from ovaries. Ovaries produce female sex hormone just like estrogen, progesterone, under the influence of which hormone? As you know about that, gonadotropic hormone such as the luteinizing hormone LH and follicular stimulating hormone FSH. These gonadotropic hormone influence or stimulate to secrete estrogen and progesterone. What is the function of estrogen? A trick for the understanding memorize this estrogen and progesterone functions. Estrogen and estrogen S is present, and in a secondary sexual characteristics have also start from a S alphabet. Estrogen control or cause secondary sexual characteristics of female, and a progesterone, P for progesterone, P for pregnancy, and the main function of progesterone is maintenance of pregnancy. How they are maintained? They are thickening of the uterus during pregnancy, and they prevent abortions. Now let's start testes. They produce male sex hormone testosterone for the secondary sexual characteristics. Now let's start a thymus gland. Thymus gland is situated at the sternum bone or chest bone, and thymus gland secrete a thymosin hormone. Thymosin hormone is known as also thymin, thymosin also. Thymosin stimulated T cells and provide a defend the body. Which are the T cells? As you know about the T cells? Yes. Recall your memory, students. T cells are the type of white blood cells, and they are produced from bone marrow, but they are mature at thymus gland. How they are mature at the thymus gland? Because the stimulation given by the thymosin hormone, that thymosin hormone is secreted from this thymus, and they are the mature at thymus gland and provide immunity. They are give us specific immunity. Now let's finalize this topic, and let's move to complete this through the pineal gland. It is cone-shaped gland which lies in the brain. Pineal gland secrete a melatonin hormone at a night time. Melatonin hormone is responsible for the awareness of condition of light in a darkness. Dear students, I hope you understand today's topic about endocrine gland from thyroid to pineal gland. I hope you understand very well about that. Please share your feedback and comments. Thanks to all. Allah Hafiz.